From New York, the greatest city in the world, it's The Late Show with David Letterman. Tonight, Howard Stern. And music from Naughty by Nature. Plus, Paul Schaefer and the CBS Orchestra. And now, smoother and more delicious than ever before,
Thank you. Thank you. What? How you doing? Knock it off. Cold outside? Lousy cold. The problem is, when it's this cold here in New York City, it takes even longer to warm up to me. Actually, it was very cold today. It was so cold, this was a surprise. The PETA people, you know, the PETA people, it was so cold today, they said, you know what, maybe fur ain't that bad. Oh. That's what they said. That was the actual press release. Maybe fur ain't that bad. PETA put that out. So, listen to this, so cold Justin Bieber, you know that Justin Bieber guy? Grew an extra set of bangs. He's
That's cool.
This guy's like, I don't know, 15, 16 years old, and what a talented kid. And he's just a kid, and wherever he goes, people go crazy. As a matter of fact, he was on the show earlier in the week, and I think he's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
And people have been lining up outside the building, and it's all about Justin Bieber. Did you see the line? Here, we have some videotape. Look at this. It's crazy. This is all for Justin Bieber. Look at that.
Already.
Now, here, watch this. You know who that is? That's John Boehner, Speaker of the House.
John Boehner.
Yes. He's
Wow.
He was sobbing. A lot of trouble with heavy snowfall. This was like the biggest snowstorm in the history of the winter. And there was so much snow today that Kim Kardashian's ass caved in. That's a true story. That's a true story.
I did not know.
36 miners were trapped.
Wow.
I was reading a fascinating article in the newspaper about snow and shoveling snow and stuff. They said that when you're shoveling snow, do not exceed 24 pounds of snow per shovel. Snow per shovel. Do not exceed 24 pounds, because and so I faxed that article to Mom. Oh, man. I'm telling you, you know who the mayor of New York City is? It's Mayor Michael Bloomberg. You may have seen the guy. And the guy has gone crazy. He outlawed soup because it was too salty, and he outlawed fatty foods because they were too fatty. Now he's outlawing outdoor smoking in New York City. Outdoor smoking. You cannot smoke outdoors. You see all those people huddled around the revolving doors at office buildings? You know?
Yeah.
That's gone. As a matter of fact, if Mayor Bloomberg has his way, the only place you'll be able to smoke outdoors is in front of a firing squad. Honest to God. That'll be it. On the other hand, urinating is still okay. That's not a problem. Go ahead. I love this story more than life itself. This is one of those only in America stories. Apparently now we are doing some testing of drinking water around the country, and it turns out that in our drinking water, rocket fuel. I was expecting a bigger reaction. Apparently, you don't have a problem with rocket fuel. Well, why not? A little rocket fuel. What's the matter with a little rocket fuel, you said? Yeah, rocket fuel in the drinking water, and the EPA now says it'll take 3 to 4 years to change the regulations. Hey, no hurry on that. God. You'll have to stop smoking in the tub. Honest to God, if I want rocket fuel, I'd just go to Starbucks, you know. But in New York City, I love the tap water in New York City. It's brown and foamy, like cappuccino. It's fantastic. Rocket fuel in the drinking water. Oh, no. You're not supposed to be in favor of that. You're supposed to be horrified. There you go. By God, let's go down to Washington and throw some rocks, all right? Thank you. But you know, here's the thing to do if you're worried about your drinking water, and by God, I am. Here's how I tested it. Take a goldfish, drop it in first. Forget that. Oh, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Barbara Walters has a special on tomorrow night, and it's all about famous people who've had heart surgery. Wow! Well, that'll bring in the younger audience. That'll get your kids in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's old guys talking about arterial plaque. And it's President Clinton, it's Robin Williams, it's Barbara Walters, it's myself, and some other people who've had heart surgery. It's a little, well, my part was exciting. Take a look. We have a clip. Watch this. This is the Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters sits down with America's most famous heart surgery survivors, David Letterman, Bill Clinton, and Regis Philbin. Learn about warning signs, the road to recovery, and unexpected side effects.
And you know who I like is that Jim,
A Barbara Walters special, a matter of life and death, only on ABC.
Honestly, after your feelings about rocket fuel in the drinking water, I was worried a little bit about how you'd respond to my heart blowing out. Sunday is the Super Bowl, by the way. Excited? Super Bowl? And everybody's excited about the advertisements. You know, they say, oh, we don't care so much about the game, but and I'm in one of those Super Bowl ads this year. Thank you. I play the fly fisherman in a Flomax commercial. Oh, hi.
Hey, Dave.
It's our stagehand, Pat Farmer, ladies and
Check it
gentlemen.
out.
Wow.
I made you a Molotov coffee.
Molotov coffee.
Yeah, it's like a Molotov cocktail,
Right.
like in Cairo, but I made it with coffee.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's really funny.
I thought you'd like it, Dave.
Yeah, I do like it. Thank you, Pat.
Dave, who do you think? Who'd you pick for Best Supporting Actress?
You know, Pat, we're right in the middle of a show.
You know, Dave, I got to run. We better talk later. I think this thing's going to blow.
All right, well, just take care of that, Pat. You hear about poor Charlie Sheen? Oh, it's heartbreaking, isn't it? Okay, all right, I get it. So he has an addiction, a drug addiction, and they said, well, you take some time off, maybe go to rehab. And everybody's hoping, well, geez, I want this rehab to work better than the previous, and then to work better than even the one, you know, before that. And And he was going to stay in the Lindsay Lohan suite, but that... and the cafeteria was going to name a sandwich after him, but none of that happened. Because Charlie Sheen is rehabbing at home. Rehabbing at home, yes. I think we have some videotape. Let's check in here. Well, this is live. This is live Charlie Sheen's house. There he is. Yes, it is live. What's this? Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. Wow. That'll ruin your lawn, by the way. Look, ladies and gentlemen, it's Paul Schaefer, everybody.
Good evening, Dad. Everybody, how about that band?
On the program tonight, Howard Stern. We'll be right back with tonight's Top 10, everybody. Thank you so much.
Coming up, Top 10 Ways New York City is healthier than ever. And Howard Stern. Then stay tuned for the wrap-up show with John Hine. Be right back.
I want to give you just a little insight into the kind of fascinating New York City conversation. I mean, it's crackling with energy. A lot of you people around the country don't have anything to say to one another. But here in New York City, we have nothing but stuff to talk about because this is the nerve center of the world right here, buddy. This is the kind of conversation we have. I came out earlier. I was talking to a guy in the audience, Tony or something was his name. I don't know. And you can still feel the electrical vibrations from the conversation we had. He raised his hand about something, and I said, yes, what's your name? And he said, Tony. I think that's what he said his name was. And I said, hey, Tony, where do you live? And he said, New York City. And I said, and here's where the fascination comes in. I said, where do you live in New York City? And he said, the Upper West Side. And I said, because New York, I know the Upper West Side like the...
Oh, okay. Good.
I said to him, how do you like it up there? And he said, well, you know. And I said, really? I mean, I heard it's all happening on the Upper West Side.
Yeah.
I said, where would you rather live, Tony? And he said, Upper East Side. Crazy, isn't it? It's just crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, here's tonight's Top 10 list. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow.
The Upper East Side is what he wanted to do. I'm sorry. What? Oh my God.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for decades. Now, it's been a long journey getting here. It took guts. It took blood. It took sweat. It took tears and determination. Sure, they knocked you down, but you built yourself back up. Stronger, better, tougher. But now, it's time to soar. Show them your spirit. Show them your heart. Show them everything you got. Because, Jay, it's Thursday. And it's time for jaywalking.
You know, I'm sorry. I'm Dave. We're just getting ready to do the Top 10 list here.
Oh. Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
The legendary Greenbackers football coach, the president of Titletown, Vince Lombardi.
Right.
The category tonight, Top 10 Ways New York City is healthier than ever. We talked about you can't eat salty soup, you can't smoke, you can't have fatty foods. Top 10 ways now, you can't even smoke outside. Top 10 ways the city is healthier than ever before. Number 10, Gray Street vendor meat sticks now trans fat free. Number 9, new strict alternate side of the street vomiting rules. Number 8. During winter months, fountain spray Robitussin. Number 7, Central Park horses required to wear diapers. Number 6, MTV has moved drunkest to most promiscuous residents to the Jersey Shore. Number 5, rats now required by law to wash hands before returning to work. Number 4, all New Yorkers invited to weekly late show yoga class. Call Kathy Mavrakakis if you need a mat. What? What?
I didn't get it either. It's some kind of an end.
Number 3, no number 3, writer homesick. That's odd considering the top 10 topic tonight. Number 2, Hello Delhi must label which foods are tainted with listeria. And the number 1 way New York City is healthier than ever. Who gives a crap? Howard Stern's on Dave. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with Howard Stern, everybody. Thank you very much. By the way, that was Dan Lauria, star of Lombardi, playing at the Circle in the Square Theater here in New York City. Quite a hit. People love it. Quite a story. Quite a guy.
I'm hearing all about
and
it.
And he seemed like the real, actual Vince Lombardi.
I thought it was.
Not that I ever knew Vince Lombardi.
No.
Pretty good. Our first guest is this man's not just a radio legend, he's a cultural legend. He is the host of his own very popular Sirius XM radio program. Here he is, the one, the only, Howard Stern. Good to see you, Howard.
That's nice. Makes me feel good. It's good to be here, Dave.
Good to have you here. Happy New Year.
Thank you. I haven't
You look
been
fantastic, by the way.
here. Thank you very much.
That's a different thing, right?
I have a, I'm trying to, come in here, respect the show,
Thank you. I
try to
appreciate
look
it.
good. I'm on fire. I want to see you beat Jay Leno in the ratings tonight. Let's go, baby.
I appreciate all the help.
I got to tell you, I am so fascinated by the late night wars and what's going on. I bought that book by Bill Carter. He writes about you. He writes about Jay. And
Conan.
he writes about Conan and what happened, and I follow this like it's the Torah. I study it. I love it. And I analyze it. But I stayed away for a couple of years. I don't know how long I haven't been here, but, I feel to study this from afar is very good. But I'm ready to comment on this now. You know, as well as everyone in this room, Jay is horrible, right? Okay. I mean, the thing that drove me nuts, and I wanted to ask you about it, and I know it's your show, and you should be asking me things.
It's fine.
But when you had that Super Bowl commercial with Jay, we had the guy down on the ground. I'm on your team. You had your foot on his neck.
We should have finished him off, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, what was that?
We let him up, yeah.
I never understood it.
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time, and people sort of responded favorably to it. So that was just a joke that we thought.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Listen, I'm in radio, I compete. I don't go on with my competitors. I go on there and I act like they're nothing. I don't acknowledge them. I say they're garbage. That's the attitude I want. And believe me, there should be a whole attitude adjustment on this show. I'm backstage firing everyone up. I ran into Rob Burnett, your executive producer. He tells me he's now directing a movie. I said, you got some damn nerve. I said, Dave's out there. He's fighting for his life.
Exactly.
He wants to beat this Jay Leno. Jay's got no talent, and Jay's getting ratings. I said, Rob, put aside the movie. Let's get to work. And
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right? I'm with you. You're fired up.
The guy is I am fired up.
He's another one.
What do you mean I'm another? You don't see me directing a movie. I'm not directing. I'm here.
Baloney. Let me tell you about you.
He's
Stay out
here
of this.
night after night after night.
What do you got? What?
I'm going to tell you about you.
Okay.
And I like you.
No, thank you. I like you too.
But you've gotten a little bit complacent.
No.
What do you mean?
No.
I'll tell you exactly what. Analyze this. Don't take this as a criticism. Take it as just help.
All right.
How many pianos do you have back there, by the way? I got to tell you something.
Got a million pianos. What's it to you?
I have an iPad. You can play all those instruments right on one little thing. He's sitting there with 8 pianos. I've never seen it.
This is not. No.
He's right.
Let me make my point.
Night in and night out.
Thank
He's
you,
the
David.
best part. That band is
Listen
the
to
best
me.
music you're going to hear anywhere.
No, thank you, but hear him out. What is he?
Wait, let me say something. It is a terrific band.
Thank
we
you.
love you, but you know sometimes playing your instrument isn't enough.
Okay.
I see this guy. You know, you're busy writing books. That book, I don't know who read that.
The book was fantastic. Did you read the book?
Read the book. I'm busy. What am I going to read about? What am I going to read about? Saturday Night Live years? I mean,
All right,
what am I
no, he's
gonna read?
me.
And not only that, forget the book for a second,
Yeah.
Paul. I mean, you know, you're back there, you're getting high all the time. I think it's time to...
Hey!
Well, come
Hey! Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Well, what's it to you? No, but go ahead.
Yeah.
And also, really, and then you're busy at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame every year.
I do
That's
that
great.
thing.
You're,
That's fantastic.
You're backing up guys like... but wait a second.
Now go ahead.
Shouldn't you be working on this show before you go? When we're number one and we're beating Jay, then we'll have time for Rock and Roll
Then
Hall
you
of
do.
Fame.
No, you have
Am I
a point.
right?
He's got a
He's
point.
right.
He's got a point.
God
You are
bless
right.
Paul Schaefer.
I'm fired up. He's right.
You
I know you're busy, and you said you didn't have time to read his book because you're
Listen.
busy counting your money.
Is that
what it is?
Listen, I love you. I'm in
thank
your
you.
corner. I'm
Thank you
rooting
very
for
much.
you.
Thanks.
I don't want the same thing happen to you happen to Regis. You know, he was fired.
Regis
you know
was
that.
fired?
He was fired.
No,
Went
he
in-
wasn't
I'll tell you the
fired.
whole story. First of all, he
Okay.
lives in my building. He thinks I'm a stalker. I'm sitting and waiting outside. I want to get the story from Regis.
Right.
He lives in my building. I wait in the lobby, and I'm looking for him. I'm staring at him. But he got fired. He went in, he asked for more money, and they gave poor old Regis the boot.
Oh, that's
and
too bad.
he
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to believe that.
But he should get the eye of the tiger. He should certainly do what you're going to do against Jay. You're going to get these guys fired up. They're going to stop writing books and directing movies. And Regis should go on and take a new show and compete in that same time period and win.
Right.
That's all. Fix the man. I love it. This network, I used to work for Viacom CBS like you know, and, you know, listen, I had a rough period. I sit here, I watch what's going on now. You had your scandal, Charlie Sheen has his scandal. They keep hiring you guys. Me, I get fired. They took me to court and sued me. What did I do wrong? I mentioned where I work. You guys are up to shenanigans. I'm backstage looking over everyone. I said, did you have sex with Dave? No. You know, I feel, listen, can I say something? I want to say something about Dave, and I mean this. I love Dave. I love this guy. There was a time in my life.
I didn't really need to come in tonight, did I?
I feel like Bill Cosby sitting here doing a monologue, except I'm making sense. Now, I saw that stuff. You can't let him go on and on and on. He's got to stop droning this guy. Dave is gracious. After all, Bill Cosby's a legend, an icon.
Sure.
Dave says, okay, do a little monologue on the side of the stage. The guy goes on 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. Dave's asleep. The whole show's a mess. But listen, Dave, I love you. You know, Dave,
I love you, Howard.
I want to apologize to you.
Apologize to me for what, for God's sake?
I owe you an apology.
You don't owe me an apology.
I have been in therapy now for 16 years.
Right. Well, now, let me ask
And
you
I'm
this.
gonna be sincere now.
What kind of therapy do you go to?
I go to a psychoanalytic Freudian psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist, that's good. That's good.
And one of the things that came out, you're not going to believe this, you're thinking I'm making a joke, but I'm not. And I took off my sunglasses to show you how sincere I am.
Okay.
Because the eyes are the window to the soul, as we know. So I was sitting there, and years ago, when I was at, you know, early on in my radio career, and you were starting out with the TV show, you used to call me at home.
Right.
And
But that was okay with you, right?
I loved it.
Yeah.
And I must have been out of my mind. I betrayed you. Because I would go on the air and talk about what you spoke to me about.
Right.
And I know you were offended, and you stopped calling me.
Right.
Now he calls Conan. So I heard you called him. Great. A lot of fun. Talk about two depressing guys. Anyway. But I'm apologizing because that wasn't right. I have celebrity friends now who do call me, and I managed to keep that private.
Who are some of the celebrities? Oh, you want to keep it private?
Well, I'm keeping it private. That's right.
All right. Well, I think
you're catching on.
Well, first of all,
But I did the wrong thing. And you know, listen, Dave would call me sometimes for an hour, and he'd sit there, he'd talk about his ham radio operation he had in his basement. It was a depressing one.
There was no ham radio operation.
But I think there was.
No, there wasn't.
I won't embarrass you because this is the new me. I'm in therapy.
Okay, all right, I appreciate that.
But honest to God, I really want to apologize to you for doing that.
That's very generous.
And if you should call me again, I will not reveal what you said.
No, you have been both very, very nice to me on the radio and viciously ugly to me on the radio.
Both.
And I accept both with equanimity because I know a little bit about how you operate, and I'm still fond of your talent and your ability.
Thank you.
And what you've represented to the United States of America.
Thank you. And the world.
And of course the world.
But, you know, Dave.
I knew if I started sucking up to you, I'd get a chance to say something.
Dave, you were reaching out to me at a time.
Yeah.
And believe me, I read about your troubles. That's why I didn't come on for a while. I didn't want to harp on any of that stuff. But I'll tell you something about Dave. When I would speak to him in these private conversations, you sounded so miserable. You hated your work. You hate coming in here. I know how the feeling. I hate it too. Yeah. And, you know, and then when I read about your troubles, I said, you know, poor Dave.
Oh, you read about him, did you?
I read about it. I said, poor Dave.
Yeah.
Finally had something fun to do at work, and they took it away from me. They're out of their mind. I love you. Go back to doing what you were doing.
We'll be right back. With Howard Stern, everybody. Howard Stern, ladies and gentlemen.
I was leaving. What are we doing? What are we doing?
You brought up the matter of therapy, and one of the things that I've known about you that I've admired from early on was you meditate. And I always thought, if I could learn to meditate, I bet that would help me. I know it's helped you. I just don't want to go someplace where people are sitting around without their shoes on, making, I don't want to do that.
To be sincere, it was never like that. I was 18 years old. I was in college. My mother was severely depressed. Look, it's her son. But in all seriousness, she was severely depressed. She was upset that her sister had died. She took it very hard, and things got to her. And I became very worried about her, and I remember I went off to college thinking, oh, I hope my mother's okay. Well, I get a call from this very happy, elated woman one day, and I'm like, who is this? And it's my mother, and she tells me she was watching the Johnny Carson show. She saw the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and she went on and learned Transcendental Meditation because she saw him on the show. And my mother sounded transformed. So she said to me, come on, I want to take you down to the TM Center. She took me down there. I did it. And it's the easiest thing I ever did. I've been doing it since I'm 18 years old. And I love to do it after the show. I find it very relaxing. Right. And, you know, it's just worked out.
The learning process, how long does it take? How long would it take for me to absorb what's necessary to actually meditate?
For you?
Yeah.
Well, you know, you got issues. It's you learn in a weekend, really.
In a weekend,
it's a very simple process. It doesn't require anything special or.
Well, I had one of those things where you listen to, because I did one instructors and stuff. I had a thing where you listen to, and they said, here, just do this and do this and do this. And by the way, if you fall asleep, you're doing something wrong.
Well, no, and that's not transcendental meditation.
Right, but I thought,
you know,
I don't mind being asleep.
No, sleeping's fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's why it's not a bad thing. Sleeping is good.
But it actually has a physiological change on your brain connection.
That's what they said. I just read an article that if you just meditate for a couple of weeks, that actual gray matter grows. Look at me.
Right.
I mean, my head is exploding from gray matter.
You're like a genius.
I'm a genius of gray matter.
So that's been useful. Tell me about the therapy. What kind of stuff do you do in the therapy?
Well, you know, I go in there. I used to go 4 days a week. I went 3 days a week, and I think it helped me sort of connect better with people. And you see,
you apologize to me.
I apologize
unnecessarily.
To you. It kept me from ending up like Charlie Sheen. You know, I was divorced, and you know, you could go down a terrible road with that.
But you never really.
I wasn't into drugs,
yeah.
but you know, you can kind of lose yourself, and I learned a lot about myself in therapy, and I found it very useful.
Right.
I was going to call you and tell you to do it, but who can get your number? Yeah. You're busy.
Yeah. But so you go like an hour a day? Is that what?
I go about 45 minutes.
Is it a man or a woman?
It's a man.
Yeah.
I was told by someone that if I went to a woman, it wouldn't be good. I had men issues.
Really, male issues?
Yeah. Well, my father and I, you know, we were distant in the sense that we didn't have a lot of conversation and all of that. And so the psychiatrist felt it was good for me to sit with a man and really talk to a man and relate to him in a way that I never related to a man.
Now, the times before in my life when I have gone to therapy, and I've mentioned this before, I kind of get bored after a few weeks, and I start not having things to say.
Yeah, that can happen. Well, you do what I do. You make stuff up.
Right. Well, that's what I was doing, putting on a bit of a show.
And why not? Yeah. Everything's a show. My whole life is a show.
We'll be back with Howard Stern, ladies and gentlemen.
Join us tomorrow as Dave welcomes Martha Stewart, Robert Plant, and a special Top 10 list presented by Justin Bieber. Reminder, the CBS nurse will be providing shots to those staffers who want to avoid Bieber fever. Ha! I wrote that myself. Back in 2, Bobby Sue.
Stern, ladies and gentlemen.
You know,
we were watching the other night. We had to screen a movie, and it was a Johnny Depp movie, and we were talking about who makes the most money in films, and the people say, well, Johnny Depp makes so and so and so and so.
I already made $100 million.
And then I read, and you renegotiated your contract. You're making more money than any 12 people in show business.
I'm flying under the radar. You know what I mean? I'm not quite.
All of this from radio.
Yes.
That's tremendous.
Well, you know, I don't think. Yeah, thank you. You don't go into radio for the money, because if you really think about it, my father was a radio engineer, and I suppose that's where I got the bug, you know. And I never thought I'd be successful. I never thought I'd make money. If I made $12,000 a year, I was excited. And he even said to me, my father, he says, he goes, what are you going to college for? This is how he talks. He goes, what are you going to, very, very proper. Why are you going to college to study radio? Any idiot could go in and take your job. You could be sitting there and the sanitation man can walk in and take your job. And, you know, this didn't ring true to me. But then I'm watching, you know, did you see this homeless guy?
Ted Williams.
And I'm sitting there, I go, my old man knows what he's talking about. Here's a guy, Dave, he's sitting there on the side of the road, he's toothless. I mean, I don't know what he's doing in terms of drugs. And this guy, next thing you know, 2 minutes later, he's got a Kraft macaroni and cheese commercial. I'm sitting there like, what is it? But the greatest are guys I know in radio, because they all call me. And they go, can you believe this homeless guy getting a Kraft macaroni and cheese? I'm working here day and night. I'm doing a shift 6 days a week, and I can't get a Kraft macaroni and cheese commercial. I go, listen, you idiot. If this homeless guy doesn't get the Kraft macaroni and cheese commercial, you're still not getting one. We're all losers, pal. But it took me by surprise that I actually was able to make a living in radio.
Let's talk about the most recent contract, because you're 50.
I'm 57.
57.
Right.
So the question is, well, how much longer would you want to do it? And then the other question is, what would you do if you weren't doing this? So you must have had some confliction about that.
Let me tell you something. It came down to the wire. I started to fantasize that I would leave the radio, you know, go out on top. You don't want to be too old, you know. I don't know how long you're holding it. Maybe it's enough. Just saying. How much longer are you doing this, really?
I don't know, maybe 2 years, I think.
2 years you're thinking you're going to exit.
I think that's what it is,
That's why we got to beat Jay. Come on, all of show business. Don't go on that show. Come on, man. Make a young man's dream come true. I hope your dream comes true. I really do hope you beat this guy.
All right, so now
So anyway, I was sitting at home, and I said to my wife, you know, I'm in a great marriage. Things are going really well. The psychiatrist got me calm. I said, you know, maybe I'll sit at home. I've been playing chess lately. Maybe I'll become a chess guy. I'll sit and play chess. And I'm sitting there thinking about it. Oh, I don't know, chess, staring at the wall. I could stare at the wall all day. I could entertain myself. Believe me, you could see I talk to myself all day. And then I had the epiphany that, you know what, radio is really who I am. My fans have been great to me. I mean, wow. You know, people followed me from terrestrial radio, and they pay for our show now, and it's been a phenomenal success.
And you're keeping that company, the merger now, you're keeping that company, Sirius XM, alive.
I'm keeping them afloat.
That's right.
I told them that.
Because If you didn't re-sign, they would lose like 20 million subscribers.
We have 20 million subscribers. I think
They'd
they'd
be
hold
gone.
on to at least 2 million.
Yeah, they'd be gone.
I think we have a lot of subscribers there. It's exciting. In fact, if I may plug, because that's really why I'm here. I don't want to be here.
Well, now
You don't want to be here, and I don't want to be
Well, no, that's not in the spirit of the apology
That's
earlier.
true.
Yeah.
I love being here. No, actually, now on your cell phone, on your smartphone, you can now get Sirius satellite radio on they call it an app. You know what I'm talking about, right? I don't know. But anyway, I don't know either. But anyway, you get on your cell phone, you can listen in. It's great. It's like they invented the transistor radio. So now we're available everywhere. So sign up, join the show, and have fun.
It's even better than terrestrial.
The show is better. For example, I mean, the other day we had on Camille Grammer. You know Kelsey Grammer's wife. Yes. She comes in, and we're entering it up, and we're talking. And with, I don't know, maybe I'm a good interviewer or something, but all of a sudden she starts insinuating that Kelsey Grammer likes to dress up like a woman. I'm thinking, this is the ugliest woman I ever saw. But it made all the headlines. I'm making a lot of news, even though I'm on set. I saw Kelsey on your show. You didn't bring it up. Now, why was that? We could have beaten Jay that night, I think.
I think I just felt like, as a courtesy to Chelsea, I wouldn't ask
Chelsea? That's a girl's name.
What did I say?
Chelsea.
What's the guy's name?
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Oops. Chelsea.
Yeah, I guess I thought, as a courtesy, I wouldn't talk to him about, well, do you like dressing up as a woman?
Were you sitting there thinking, I should call him Chelsea? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at the tape. But that's the difference between you and me. You go there and make that commitment.
Yes.
And make the headlines and stuff.
Well, my psychiatrist says that I don't always have to be the life of the party. That maybe sometimes I could learn to say no to myself
but
and
you're not the life of the party. That's the.
Thank you.
No.
Here I thought I was the life of the party.
No, I mean, when you're doing what you do for a living, you're the life of the party.
Right.
When you're not doing that, you're not the life of the party.
I am such a bore.
You're not the class clown.
No, I'm a bore at home. I really.
You're not a bore. You're a normal guy.
Oh God, no. I mean, I am a mess. I really am. But I'm holding it together.
Yeah, no, things are fine. Your beautiful wife. She had a book with the dog training.
How's your dog, by the way?
He's okay.
How's that going?
He's, it's better than it used to be.
Yeah. What's he doing?
He likes to stand on the dining room table.
So you go home, the dog stands up. You better keep this job. Sounds horrible. But you're happy, right? You're doing all right.
Yeah, I like the dog. It's pretty. We've made our peace.
What's his name?
His name is Sully.
Sully.
Yeah, he's a rare breed. He's a Boston plumber.
Sully.
Thank you.
Sully, after the guy who flew the plane. Landed the plane?
I'll just say yes, but that's not the case.
Right.
But I'll say yes, yeah.
And you're still running off to Montana and
I go to Montana, yeah.
Sit there.
Have you ever been to Montana?
No, I'm not.
Well, you should come out.
Please.
No, we should.
What would we do? Why don't you listen? Maybe we'll get our relationship on track. I want to say this. I offered my apology, and it's sincere. If you trust that I'm somewhat normal now,
right.
What we'll do is we'll start by calling each other.
Okay.
And then maybe I'll come out to Montana and I'll stare at the wall with you.
All right.
And we'll see what happens.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm fascinated by the idea of chess. Because that's something I've always been interested in, but I don't know how to play.
It takes a lot of study.
Yeah, I mean, checkers, okay.
Chess is tough. It's hard.
But checkers, at least you got half the equipment. You're ready to go.
Well, everyone always told me, if you learn chess, you'll be great in business. You'll be able to figure out what everybody's thinking and calculate and this, that. Well, so I studied it for 3 years. I got my rating up to an 1800, which was respectable. And I realized at the end of it, I'm no better in business than I was before. I have no idea what anybody's thinking.
How much is your new contract worth?
My new contract?
Yeah.
It's worth a good deal of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that wasn't me.
Yeah.
That happened by accident.
Yeah. A $500 million accident.
Well, it's a big accident. Let's party.
All right.
What are we doing?
We're done, Howard.
We're done. That's it.
Great pleasure to see you, my friend.
Right.
Thank you very much. Howard Stern, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Naughty by Nature. Thank you. Felicia. Our next guests are a Grammy Award-winning hip-hop trio whose forthcoming CD is entitled Anthem Inc., and it marks their 20th anniversary in the business. Please welcome with guest vocalist Malewa Muhammad, Naughty by Nature. Everyone.
1, 2, 3, come on, come on.
Mama, don't cry for me.
Say what?
Papa, don't feel bad.
Here we go.
Code of the streets that we gotta keep.
Yeah.
They bang, so we bang.
What we do?
So we rap my hood, my city, my borough, thoroughly.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Naughty by Nature's in the building.
Oh.
Everybody stand up. Get up. Get up. Come on.
Your mom and your moody,
Come
you
on.
jacking for jewelry,
Come
you
on.
banging and beasting with your tats and your toolie,
Yeah.
banging for bounty, you too young for the 90s, where you thumping with the G-Rock, or jumping in the county,
Come on.
shooting by the roofing,
Yeah.
scrapping is what's happening,
Yeah.
homies real about it, so whooping, platting and cracking, if you going out tonight, your pistol and your rifle, pray to the Father and say your toe to the cycle, you coming brother listen, no bouncing ain't no Uber, cook 'em by the kitchen, flags and finger flipping, living it without knowing, killing without growing, this gang is a gun, it's either given or chosen, trying to get the triggers out, trying to get this brother back, what's part of the deal, it won't help bring our brother back, baby cause you like your lover, take your mother like you need her, hug her like you need her, cases all the time you see her,
Mama, don't cry for me. Papa, don't feel bad.
It's a party.
Code of the streets that we gotta keep.
they bang so we bang back,
Yo,
Our city, our borough, thoroughly is all we have. You gotta cook beef or you don't eat. Come on, Stretch.
OPP, how can I explain it?
Sing
I think
it.
it frame by frame it.
Sing
To have y'all all jumping, shout, saying it. Always for other peers, so people scratch your temper.
what?
The last P, well,
That's how that's simple.
it's sorta like a one another way to call a cat a kid. It's 5 little letters that are missing. Yeah, you get it on occasion if the other party is
Where
in
the
town.
party at, y'all? Put 'em up.
Listen, you ever had a girl that met her on a nice hello? They get her name and number, then let's fill her in mellow. You get home later, they see what you wanna know about. Do you call up and it's a girlfriend or cousin's house? It's out of front of after all throws to the T. It's just so boyfriends that are hell. It's OPP time other people's when you get it. It's over for relationships, it's just right to hit. How many brothers out there know this what I'm getting at? Who think it's wrong 'cause I'm splitting and go hitting that? What if you do that's OPP and you're not down with it? But if you don't, here's your membership. Yeah, with OPP. Yeah, with OPP. Yeah, with OPP. Who's there with OPP? Here we go. Hip hop parade. Ho, hey, ho. Say what? Say what? Here we go. Yo, you drew a picture of my woman, but you couldn't make my day. I'm rocking and you know it. You never look my way. I'm looking down, you're trolling in every single way. You're acting on computer Paul straight from all the way. This ain't got jack to do with shampoo, but watch your head and shoulder. Brother on the road enough to fold to yo, I told ya. But ain't afraid of what I mean. They play the fuck the funky business, say you flip the dip. Well, music
We
and
are
all
the money triggers from the girl town ill. Some answer with pills. The niggas have a rooster with steel. Don't land with a piece out here. The level line being in some. Thinking what you're thinking, cause I'm pimping.
I live and die for hip hop. This is hip hop of the day. I get props to hip hop, so hip hop.
Somebody say hey. Say ho. Now scream.
Better than David Letterman. Number one.
Naughty by Nature, 20 years in the game, y'all.
Great pals. Naughty by Nature, everybody. Way to go. Thank you, my friend. That's it. Have a lovely evening. Good night, everybody.
Now, stay tuned for Craig Ferguson. This is Alan Calder speaking. Good night, everybody.
No dice, Kenny.